night out.
Greyhound racing started in Western Australia on December 12th, 1974. This year we celebrate the 50th anniversary of Greyhound racing in WA and remember some of the stars that have given us so much enjoyment over the years. Miata was the highest Australian stake earner in 2013, winning 42 times from 51 starts and over 715,000 in stakes. She held the track records at the Old Cannington for 530 metres, 642 metres and 715 metres. The brilliant bitch won 2 Group 1 Galaxy finals and was a dual Australian Greyhound of the Year.
She was unwanted as a pup and she's going to become the greatest ever stake earner in Australian Greyhound history. Listen to the roar of the crowd. She wins by 20 lengths.
From all of us at TAB Radio Racing and Sport, thank you to all of those participants and the Greyhounds that have made WA Greyhound racing a big night out.
Simon Told Helen wins a half length. Zach Manelli second.
Welcome to Greyhound Gossip.
Peaky Blinders start cheering for Tommy Shelby wins the WA Sprint Championship final.
Featuring Peter O'Neill.
Mozza moves up to Mermaid Manelli. Fab's Gem 3 deep. Here comes Fab's Gem.
Hard Skull Rico by 5 lengths to Simon Told Helen. Third Tommy Shelby.
This segment is dedicated to the discussion and promotion of Greyhound racing.
Cindy's Oliver, Rockstar Patriot, Paul Stewart, back-to-back with Rockstar Patriot in the Galaxy.
Handsome Prince, a Boulder Clear, the former Tasmanian Handsome Prince has won the $1 million chase.
A very good morning, everyone, and welcome along to Greyhound Gossip, a big weekend of Greyhound racing. It all started off on Friday night with the Group 3 Young Stars Classic and also the Chase Heats. We saw the short price favourite Iconic Jet blow the field away, defeating Premium Share in the opening heat of the Young Stars. And then another James for Ian Bunny was well supported earlier in the day and got up to score, defeating Impress Wilder in the second of the heats. Arbolino was a short price favourite, defeating Max Capacity. And then in heat number 4 of the Young Stars, Rigatoni Manelli caused a bit of an upset, defeating Timmy Tesla. The final heat saw Fancy That Fred, who was also well supported from a wide draw, get across and defeat Defender. Now, the box draw for the Young Stars, Impress Wilder comes up with box 1, is currently at $8. Timmy Tesla, 26 in 2. Iconic Jets drawn ideally in box number 3 for the Shane Train and $2.60 favourite. Fancy That Fred, $7. Another James, so the kennel mates alongside each other, $4.60. Arbolino in box 6, $5. Premium Star 13 and Rigatoni Manelli out in box number 8, currently quoted at $8. So that's for the Young Stars final. And then we had heats of the chase where Trunky Irene defeated Little Bit Twisted in the opening heat. Sunset Nightjar defeated Sunset Pepe, and then Ballarace for Cosy D'Agostino defeated Sassy Snickers in the final heat of the chase. The chase box draw was done on Friday as well. Ballarace coming up with box 1 and is the favourite at $2.35 with Tab Touch. Little Bit Twisted, $21. Trunky Irene, $17. Sunset Nightjar, $4.80. Curious Georgia in box 5, $4. Sunset Pepe, $4.80. Sassy Snickers, $21. And Min Smiley, $26. Last year, the chase was taken out by What a Ripper, West on Fever the year before, and the Young Stars last year taken out by All About Stone with Electrified and Momentum the 2 years prior to that. Also, Friday night was a big night for WA Greyhound racing with the WA-owned Big Energy taking out the shootout. Of course, the first ever Sandown shootout was taken out by our own Regimite.
Racing and beginning quickly, Big Energy. Hector Fawley fair. Blue Camaro's coming across, but Big Energy will lead to the first turn. Vincent Bale got a beautiful run through, is up to second. Out deep, Blue Camaro, and a length away to Hector Fawley on the rail. Down the back, they went 5.02 to the first mark. Big Energy clear by 3 on Vincent Bale. A length then to Blue Camaro and Hector Fawley. It's Big Energy in front. Vincent Bale hasn't thrown in the towel. He's coming. It's Blue on the inside with Big Energy kicking, and Big Energy will win the shootout. 2 lengths on the line over Vincent Bale. Third in Blue Camaro.
Yes, so well done to the Greenos and also the WA connections with Big Energy, too strong in the shootout on Friday night. And, of course, now into the Melbourne Cup we go, and Sunset Frazier and also, I've got a mental blank for the moment, Crystal Shinner's, her runner, Flying Amy, not Flying Amy, but I'll think of it, Flying Miss Emily. Miss Emily was successful. Apologies for forgetting the name. Let's continue on with Greyhound Gossip. Our first special guest this morning is Campbell McCallum, who's about to tell us a little bit about himself and also how he's got involved in the ownership of a retired greyhound. And we go to Campbell this morning on Greyhound Gossip. Campbell, thanks for your time.
Good morning, guys. How are you?
Yeah, going very, very well indeed. Tell us a little bit about yourself, first of all, before we get into how you became involved in having a pet at home in a greyhound. What do you do for a living?
I was a retired jockey, ridden all over Australia pretty much, from North Queensland down to Victoria over to Perth, and since 2014 I retired, got a bit too heavy, and now I just train a few racehorses, and yeah, so I'm pretty heavily involved still in the industry.
I believe that you've got 3 young kids and you've had other pet dogs before. What made you decide to get a greyhound as a pet?
To be honest, I'm not entirely sure, and then I always heard they were really good dogs, and my little dogs I used to have, they ended up, they were too old and sort of passed away, and we didn't have a dog and the kids and stuff, and I sort of maybe tricked my partner into getting a greyhound. I said, we're just going to go and look at it, and as we walked out the door, I grabbed the lead, and she said, why are you grabbing the lead if we're just going to look at it? I'm like, no, we've got to take it for 4 weeks and see. And she's been with us ever since.
And what's she like around the horses?
She really good. Like, she's only gone to the stables a few times, but like nothing bothers her at all. Like, we can't find anything anything negative about her. Like, she's the most placid dog, brilliant with the kids, and suits our lifestyle. Like, all she does is sleep and gets her little walk around the block, and that tires her out pretty quick. And yeah, not what I was expecting.
So she's known as Annie around your home. She raced as Red Hot Annie. She had a couple of wins for Enzo Credelli, and I think she won just over $11,000. She was retired in 2023. So she comes from a kennel. She hadn't been into or lived in a home before. How's she been able to settle into that, and how's she adapted?
She was brilliant. Like, the first few days, obviously, she didn't... for us too, only ever having little dogs, and we'd be making dinner, and she'd just walk up and put her head on the kitchen bench or things like that, just not knowing, but she picked it up very, very, very quickly. She's a very smart dog.
And your friends that come down, how do they see you with a greyhound?
No, everyone had to get involved, and I sort of tell them, I was like, if it was up to me, I'd get another 10 of them. Like, no, by far, they're the best dogs we've ever owned.
What inspired you, first of all, to adopt a greyhound? Because as I mentioned before, with your 3 young children, you had other pet dogs around your home. I'm not sure if you still have those, but what inspired you originally to get a greyhound?
I'm in a little syndicate. Like, I would have a small hair of a greyhound, and it's won a couple of races for us, and then we got a bit interested more so in that, and then I suppose the afterlife of them, and like with the racehorses, we pride ourselves on finding them the best home and things like that, and it's something that I suppose thought maybe we could try and give a greyhound a really good home. So.
You mentioned before how quiet she is around your home. Were you surprised the fact that you've owned greyhounds, you've been a jockey yourself, and you're now training gallopers, so you know how fired up they can be? Were you surprised at how quiet that she is?
Oh, definitely. Like, I fully see now why they promote them for great apartment pets and things like that, because 23 hours of the day, I reckon she's out cold sleeping. Like, she doesn't bark, she doesn't do anything. Like, she just, and then you take her for a walk, she gets excited for about 100 metres, and then that's her done again.
How was the process like for you to adopt a greyhound? What did you have to go through?
I filled out the form online at Greyhound Pet, and it probably took a little while for them to sort of find one suitable, and then they thought they found one, and we were talking with them a little bit, and they then we worked out that one probably wasn't going to be suitable with the young kid, and then they rang back a few weeks after with Annie and said, no, this one will be perfect, we think, with your circumstances and your family, and they were spot on.
What would you say to anyone, including your friends, but what would you say to anyone thinking about adopting a greyhound?
Oh, definitely do it. They've got a lot of character, and they're not what you'd imagine. Greyhound, you think they need a lot of walking and a lot of work. They're quite the opposite. Just I love alone time, but yeah, they make us laugh. Put it that way.
And just on your gallopers, how many do you have in work at the moment?
I've got 4 at the moment. One we bred, he's just come back into work, and he goes pretty good. He's just big baby still, and a couple others are probably nearly ready to go to the paddock, but yeah.
And how long since you've been retired as a jockey?
2014, Broome Cup was my last ride.
Do you miss the riding, or the fact that you're still on training, you still get to get on their backs? I suppose you're still going as quick as some of the ones you used to ride.
It was a lot easier being a jockey, I'll say that. Training's very difficult and a lot of hard work, but no, it's very rewarding when they do get a win. And
I presume that you don't miss having to sweat and drop the weight as well.
No, definitely not. I like Friday nights out to have a beer and a steak and and then wake up and have brekkie on a Saturday.
Beautiful. Good luck with the horses, Campbell, and thanks for joining us and sharing your experiences with Annie. I'm sure you're going to have a lot of fun with her, and they do make very good pets. And if you'd like more details, you can go online to greyhoundsaspets.com.au, and it is very easy to register your interest in becoming an owner of a retired greyhound. Thanks for your time this morning.
No worries. Thank you for having me on.
Good on you. So Campbell McCallum joining us, a former jockey who's now taken up training and has a pet greyhound, a former greyhound in his care. And as he mentioned, they are very, very good pets. All right, let's continue on. We're about to go to Michael Hine, who joins us this morning. He's had a really good season up at Northam, and he's had a very good season around our tracks. He'll be excited to have Cannington, I'm sure, up and running in early December. And Michael joins us online this morning. How are you, Michael?
Good, mate, yourself?
Yeah, going very well. Just on Cannington, I got an update, and I'm sure you would have got that update from the industry earlier in the week, that it looks like at this stage the first meeting at Cannington, if everything goes to plan with the trialling, will be on the 4th of December. That'll, for someone that's positioned up in Bakers Hill like you are, that would be, or not quite Bakers Hill, Wundowie, that would be very, very convenient for you, not having to travel down to Mandurah to have to trial your greyhounds.
Yeah, no, that'll be very, very handy, especially with no Northam at the moment trialling. So last Monday I had to leave the track at 4:30, head home, get dogs and go to Mandurah and trial down at Mandurah last Monday night after racing. So I didn't get home till about 11 o'clock. So, yeah, so it'll be good when the Canterbury opens again.
Yeah. What's it like having the two tracks with the dogs? Is it difficult in keeping their mind on the job?
Look, it can be. It's just a matter of, I think a lot of people don't like to travel. So the travel is go to Mandurah, and that, especially for me, working full-time as well, owning my own business, it is difficult with only having the Northern and Mandurah, where Cannington comes into it. It's a lot closer to home, so I can plan around getting off work early in that. So dog-wise doesn't really bother me, but, for me to get around and that sort of stuff, it does.
Northam, you've had a really good year up there again this year?
It's gone all right. Dogs are up there liking it. So, it's good to have the city races up there as well, so you can jag a couple of maidens and that sort of novices and that, the dogs that usually wouldn't have a chance at Cannington with the bigger trainers. So, it is good, and I'm having a good season up there with the dogs I've got.
How many greyhounds do you actually have in your care at the moment?
I've got 13, but there's about 3 ready to go as pets.
Okay, we just spoke with Campbell McCallum. He's a former jockey, now a racehorse trainer, and he's just taken on a greyhound as a pet, and he gave them rave reviews. As you know, they're very good pets. You'd have probably a couple living on your couch.
Yeah, I've got Wise Thunder. He's at home, and also got a young, she's 4 years old, one we bred, Ronnie Ranger. She's just getting used to it all now. And, they're great pets. They're lazy, and that. I'm just about to organise another one to go to a chef from the Malina Tavern. She's going to take it as a pet, hopefully next couple of weeks.
All right, that's good. You've got a few up at Northam today, and a few of them have just recently broken through. You would have been really happy to see Saganaki Kid break through a couple of weeks ago, a greyhound that's really been knocking on the door up at Northam.
Yeah, he's been, ever since I got him from Glenn, he's just had a different leaf of life up at Northern, and he's chasing really well. Obviously, we thought that he didn't want to win a race prior to winning 2 weeks ago. So it's good to see him get a win on the board. And yeah, look, today's going to be a bit hard from box 7, but if he can find the fence, he'll come rattling home.
It's funny, isn't it? He took, 13 starts at Northern before he broke through. He'd been placed 7 or 8 times, and then he almost went back-to-back because he was only narrowly defeated last week.
Yeah, and as I said, like he's chasing really well up there at the moment, and he's just found leaf of life. I'll switch up what I do with him at home, and my youngest daughter, she looks after him and does a bit extra work with him. And since we've done that with him, he's kicked on and chasing really well. So hopefully today, I think it's going to be hard to get across, but if you can posse up all right, he's pretty strong. So hopefully top 2, top 3 will be nice today.
You've got 2 in the same race. Wise Kunak also was a recent winner back in late October, then hasn't had a lot of luck at her next couple of runs. What are you expecting from her drawn out on the outside of Saganaki Kid?
Look, she can win. She can run from out there. She can run low, 29.8 sort of thing if she gets on the arm. Look, she's probably boxed out there with him on the inside of her. So if she stays out of trouble and gets clear, she should go all right. But again, there's a bit of speed on the inside, so that's going to be the worry for her. She needs it her own way. If she gets her own way, then yeah, she goes all right. But she's very temperamental.
And can Outlaw McGraw win or run into a place? I know drawn on the outside of Shimmer Dream, who's been racing very well for Joey Daly up there. But this greyhound's been really consistent in free-for-all company up at Northern this season.
Yeah, look, he's not drawn ideal, but as you said, the 7 dog can cut across for him. He can posse up. He's not a strong 500-metre dog at the moment. He's got a few little niggling issues that we're trying to just get through till we get this back to Caneton for the 380s. But yeah, look, he's up there with him. He can run, again, 29.7, 29.8 sort of thing, which he could probably run a place in that race tonight. Who's the best of your runners that you're taking to Northern? Sakanaki Kid.
Yep, okay. We're celebrating, as you know, 50 years of greyhound racing in Western Australia in 2024. It all started back in 1974. You've been involved in the industry for a long period of time. Just remind those that might not know your story, how you actually got involved in greyhound racing through your family.
Yeah, so my mum and dad owned dogs with Dot and Mandy Horton. I went probably back when I was 6 years old, so what's that, 29 years ago. And then, I sort of grew up with them, going out helping them at when they had the trial track at Bushmead. And then mum and dad decided to go off on their own accord, brought a property. And then, so we had a few dogs at home. Then I started working for Mick and Lexi, Isaac and Pollard. And, learn a bit more about that from them. And then, as I got older, handling, catching dogs, working mum and dad, Mick and Lexi. Got opportunity to work with another trainer, Pete Sayer. Was lucky enough to go over to the Nationals with a bitch called Taser and stayed with Steve White, which again, you learn a bit more over there with the top trainers. And then, took on my own training when I was 18. And then, ever since then, been to Queensland with Tony Brett and Mick Zammett, a couple of the good trainers over in Queensland, and learnt different ways. And then, just been ever since.
It's fascinating, isn't it? So from a 6-year-old boy going out to Bushmead, as you mentioned, with 2 of the state's leading trainers at the time, Dot and Mandy Horton, and then you got the bug, and you're still involved 35 years or 30 years later.
Yeah, look, it's got the bug. The bug's there, and just pretty much at the moment now, I'm just doing it to hopefully set up my daughter. She's got the bug probably worse than I did,
right?
Which is a good thing maybe. But no, so I'm just in it now to get everything set up for her so she can hopefully one day take over. She does most of the stuff and tells me these days what to do with some of the dogs anyway, so she thinks she runs it as it is.
What's your daughter's name again? Montoya, yeah. So how old's Montoya and how long before she can start catching? Because that'd be her first dream, wouldn't it, to be able to catch a dog?
Yeah. Well, she's able to catch him next week. She turns 14 next week.
Oh, good.
So she can start catching dogs next week. She's already down there now organising catches for trainers and all that sort of stuff. And look, I got my oldest one. She's catching already, but she's not into them as much as Montoya is. Montoya's, she lives them sort of thing. Like any spare minute she can, she goes over there, pups, race dogs. She gets on the motorbike and works them for me if I can't do it, sort of thing, to do the work. So she does all the work when I can't do it, sort of thing.
And they're so friendly with the young kids, as you see. Is Taser the best dog that you've ever handled?
Good question. Handle-wise, look, I would say yes. Back in the day, sort of thing, she could win over 500 or distance. But like the best one I've probably handled that means something to me is Wise Thunder. Sort of thing. He's made 2 Group 1s for me. Ran 3rd in Brisbane, ran 4th in the Perth Cup, sort of thing. So he's probably one that's more favourable and memorable for me to handle, sort of thing. And obviously I train him as well, sort of thing.
Yeah,
so.
and to make Group 1 finals, that would have been a big thrill for you as well.
Oh, look, yeah, they are. They come around sparingly, as people know, sort of thing. Especially with the quality of dogs I've got, sort of thing. It's very hard to jag one or get one in, sort of thing. So it was good to get, especially with him, bring him over here and get into a Group 1 and then, go to Queensland and that, which a lot of people probably thought I was stupid for going over there, sort of thing, with him, but he ran 3rd, so it's all in the past now. So
good on you, Michael. Some great memories. Started off as a young boy and you're still involved, and now your children are involved as well. Enjoy Northern today. We're looking forward to having Cannington back up and running in early December. Thanks for your time.
That's it, mate. See you soon.
Good on you. Michael Hine, good bloke of the sport, and good to have him on the program. We'll take a quick break. Tim Walker will be back with Often Pacing after this. And as I mentioned earlier on in the program, Regimite was the first ever winner of the Sandown Shootout.
It's going to be such a big night out.
Greyhound racing started in Western Australia on December 12th, 1974. This year we celebrate the 50th anniversary of Greyhound racing in WA and remember some of the stars that have given us so much enjoyment over the years. In the late 1990s, Regimite set track records at Cannington and Mandurah on his way to being named the 1998 WA Greyhound of the Year. He won 34 times from 51 starts, making the final of the Perth and Melbourne Cups and National Sprint Championship while winning the first ever Sandown Shootout.
But Regimite sails around the bend and will represent WA in fine fashion next week. But Regimite, far too good.
From all of us at TAB Radio Racing and Sport, thank you to all of those participants and the Greyhounds that have made WA Greyhound racing a big night out.
What are you really gambling with? For free and confidential support, visit gamblinghelpline.org.au.